They're quiet, convenient, and energy efficient. The golf cart is coming of age and proving a valuable form of transportation in communities around the country where residents think green. We go to Augusta, Georgia to see the latest in electric vehicles. Baby boomers and retirees, check this out. New apartment-style communities offering sweet amenities. Could this be in your future? Do you own a firearm? Are you thinking about getting one? Today we get with an expert to see what you should do to select a firearm and keep it safely in your home. This is the show all about you and your space, your home and surroundings. We are Designing Spaces.
With me is Chad Enos from Kel-Tec CNC Industries to talk about having a firearm in your home to protect yourself and your family. Hopefully you will never have to use it beyond target practice, but we're going to learn all the good and bad that we need to know. Chad, welcome to Designing Spaces.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay, so I've heard the old adage that a man has the right to protect his castle, but today women are taking on that role as well.
Absolutely, and not only that, but in the competition realm as well. The competition world with women is expanding like crazy. But at the home, you can dial 911, but it can take anywhere from 30 seconds to 30 minutes for law enforcement to show up. Right. So we believe that every adult in the household should be able to use and handle a firearm safely and effectively.
Right, especially if there's children in the home. You want to protect yourself and your children.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. And for safety for the kids, we always recommend a biometric safe, which is a programmable safe that the adults can program their fingerprints onto.
Oh, okay.
And then that way the kids can't get into it.
Because it only works off that person's
hand.
Okay.
Exactly. And it's quick to deploy. So if you have to get that thing in like fast action to get that thing into, into use, you put your hand on it, it pops open, you can grab it and go ahead and defend the house.
I see you brought a few firearms here today. What would you recommend for us in our home for protection?
Well, it depends. I mean, everyone's different. I have a PF9 here and also the Kel-Tec P32. Both these are a great option. Depending on where you live. If you live in an apartment, you're probably going to want to use something that's not going to penetrate through walls and potentially hurt somebody on the other side.
Good point. Okay.
Handguns are always a great option. You just have to sort of train and figure out if that's going to be good for you in your particular environment. Now a shotgun may be another good option, because if you're using something like birdshot that doesn't go very far and penetrate, that's a really great option, because at close distance it's going to be very effective, but it's not going to go across the street or through walls and potentially hurt somebody else.
Now you said train. Do you recommend training before buying any kind of handgun?
Absolutely. Go down to your local range. Typically they have firearms you can rent. And
really?
That way you can find out the size, the caliber.
What works best for you.
Right, exactly. And talk to the range officers there. They're more than willing to help you and train you, and I can't emphasize training enough. It's very, very important.
Okay, how often would you think to train?
I train about 3 days a week. I know that's a lot, yeah. But if you can get there once a week, if you can get there even once a month, get down there, get some training, talk to these guys, they'll help you.
Practice does make perfect, and you want that skill.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so what advice do you have, once we already have our handgun, and we're going to take some training classes, how do we transport it?
Transporting a firearm is something you have to look into. First, look into your local laws and find out, what you can and can't do as far as transporting from your house to your vehicle, from your vehicle to somewhere else, maybe your friend's house. But one important thing is always keep it concealed. You don't want to scare anybody, and you certainly don't want anyone else to know that you have a firearm in your vehicle, because then you're automatically a target for theft. So. Okay,
and that was going to be my next question. Is that different than having a concealed weapon on you? Those are two separate things, right?
It is, yeah, you definitely have to get a concealed carry permit, and that's something that you want to go and find out from your local FFL if they give those classes. They'll also be able to tell you all the local laws on that, because from county to county, and especially from state to state, it changes.
Okay.
Every state may or may not have a concealed carry permit, and once you get that permit, then you can carry your firearm on your person. But again, train for that first. You don't want to just go out and buy a gun, get your permit and stick it in your holster and go walk around. You want to know how to use that thing efficiently and safely. So.
Okay, and talking about safety, what would be your top safety tips for owning a handgun?
Consider every firearm loaded. That's number one. Number two, never point the muzzle of the gun at something you don't intend to destroy. So, and the other thing is, don't ever put your finger on the trigger and keep it outside of the trigger guard until you're ready to shoot. And number four, make sure you know what's in front of your target and what's beyond your target. So you don't want to accidentally shoot something that you didn't intend to shoot.
Okay. Chad, where can our viewers go to learn more about the safety tips we spoke about, but also the handguns?
At keltecweapons.com, you can see all of our products there and a lot more.
Wonderful. Chad, thank you so much for giving us such great tips on keeping ourselves and our families safe. We really do appreciate it.
Well, it's no problem. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Well, to see this portion of Designing Spaces again, please go to our website at designingspaces.tv and click on the Kel-Tec video. You will also see a link to the Kel-Tec website there as well. For Designing Spaces, I'm Debi Marie.
A safe and efficient home and life is basic to all of us. From convenient and easy transportation or downsizing your home to enjoy the good life, to protecting your home and family safely, we want your home and lifestyle to fit your needs and desires. We are Designing Spaces.
You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.